Hi guys. So it's a holiday weekend and I decided to catch up on some books on my physical TBR as well as my Kindle TBR. I have wanted to read Peaches and Honey for the longest time, so I'm going to read this and the second book in the book of Azrael, The Throne of Broken Gods. This is actually on my physical. This is actually on my April TBR, and I will finally read A Discovery of Witches in this 24-hour reading vlog. I think I can get through all three of these. I'm pretty quick with the reading, but let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and start my timer now. I have my iPad here. The timer has started, and I'm gonna start reading Peaches and Honey. Not my Kindle updating in the moment where I wanna read. All right, then I'll read on the iPad first and then jump onto the Kindle when it finishes updating. I have so many thoughts about this book and no thoughts at the same time. So I went into this like completely blind, not realizing that this was going to be like a historical fiction with a whole lot of tension. And I'm really loving the writing. It's not purple prose or anything like that. It's just, I don't know, I'm just so completely captivated by this story, and I didn't know that I was in a mood to read this thing, but I knew like from the very beginning when I was enjoying it from the first 5% that this was going to be a good book. However, I have changed my mind about these two because these are chunky boys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read both of these tonight. I think I can definitely get through this, but tonight might be like a Kindle night, and I do have this on the Kindle as well. Yeah, I think I can definitely get through this. This I'm not sure, but this is actually this is the book that's actually on my TBR for the month. But anyway, I think the next book that I'm going to read is going to be this one. If I end up reading Throne of Broken Gods, then good for me, but I'll check back in once I finish Peaches and Honey. But so far, so good. So far, I'm enjoying this. This is like 4.5 stars so far. Okay, so I finished Peaches and Honey a few minutes ago, and I'm glad that I read that without knowing anything about it, because I think if I read a description about like a historical fiction fantasy romance that takes place over decades. I've never really read any historical fiction, I guess. And when I was thinking about it, this is also historical fiction, and so are the Anne Rice books. So that's not even true. I like historical fiction. I just had it in my mind that I don't read this. So I think if I would have read a synopsis about this, then I would have said, nah, I'm not going to read that. But I was pleasantly surprised with Peaches and Honey. Like at the 60% mark, the book has a major like shift and goes like really strong in the romance. Maybe like 65%, 70%. It goes like really strong into the romance. And it was nice. It just felt like really abrupt. So much so to the point where I thought like, oh, there's not going to be any romance in this book. Or, yeah, like I was thinking it was going to be like, what's Jay Bree's book? I'll insert a picture. Like, Jay Bree's book with, yeah, I'll insert a picture. Anyway, that first book where it was like hate enemies to lovers, but like hate me's to lovers. I thought it was gonna be like that, but it wasn't like an enemies to lovers story or anything. It's just they were so like cat and mousey about the love that I didn't think that it was gonna actually happen in the first book, and it did, and it was nice, and I'm happy about that. Would I end up picking up the second book? Definitely not tonight, but maybe. maybe like next month or in 2 months, like I'll have some kind of inspiration to pick up the month. But yeah, so first book is read. I think I'm either going to jump into a discovery of witches, which I did actually start. In all fairness, I did start this book. I'm on chapter 11. Or I was thinking about just going ahead and biting the bullet and finishing. Uh, is it Raven Kennedy? I'm not even sure if it's Raven Kennedy, but Guild from the Plated Prisoner series. I did have this book last year at the 50% mark, and I was hating it. So, I mean, I'm almost done with it anyway, and I want to finish as many books as I possibly can in this 24 hours. So, I probably am gonna read that, but Discovery of Witches is a like TV series that I absolutely love. So I think I'm gonna stick with something that I know that I love for sure. That'll keep me reading the whole books and keep my attention. So yeah, Discovery of Witches. I'm about to pick that up now. I have the physical copy, but I also bought all the entire trilogy on Kindle, and this is before the whole foolishness with Kindle. So I am gonna end up just reading it on the Kindle because I don't like to crack my spine. So like if I don't have to crack my spine, I'm not gonna crack my spine. So yeah, I'm gonna pick that up, and I will check in once I do some more reading for Discovery of Witches. I don't know. I can't give you a percent point. Maybe the 50% point, and I'll check that again. Okay, so I changed my mind again. I am going to read Guild from the Plated Prisoner series because those two books are like way too long and will require too much of my attention. So, yes. Okay, so I just got done reading Guild, and this is a book that I DNF'd last year, and this is why I literally tried to make this a goal this year to DNF more books, but this is why I have such a hard time. So last year I DNF'd this book, and it's super popular at the 51% mark, right? Because I absolutely hated the beginning of this book, and not like the harem stuff. I didn't care about that. Even the plot where Midas used our female MC, I didn't really care about that part either. But I hated like her attitude and how dumb she was, and how like I don't really have a better word than pathetic about the whole thing, and it really, really got on my nerves. And tonight, me just randomly picking up the book and like deciding to read past that 50% mark. Why did the book get so good at the end? Like, why did it get so good at the end? Like, yes, it's been almost a year since I DNF'd the book. So the only impression that I'm left with is that last 50%. And because of that, I have to rate the book like 4 stars. And like, I want to read the rest of the series now because it was really, really good at the end. I feel a little bit bamboozled. Okay, so here is our time. I thought that I was going to put down the Deborah Harkness book, but I'm going to pick it up. I think I can get through that book, even though that's not actually the book on my TBR. I need to stop saying that, but it's not actually the book on my TBR. But anyway, I will get to The Throne of Broken Gods at some point. And the month of April isn't even over yet. So, yeah, I'm about to jump into A Discovery of Witches. And so far, the books that I've read so far have been 4-star books. So yeah, I'll be really, really happy if I finish reading 3 books, I'll be happy. That was the goal for this video. But if I finish like 4 books or 5 books, obviously after Discovery of Witches, they will have to be short books. But if I finish like 4 or 5 books, I'll be very, very happy with myself. And I have to, yeah. But anyway, yeah, 4 stars for Guild. I'll check back in later. I have finally finished Discovery of Witches. This is where we are time wise. Little under 5 hours left. I am one of those people that strongly believes that the book is always better than the show. But in the case of A Discovery of Witches, the show is better than the books. And I enjoyed the book for the simple fact that it made me nostalgic about the show. But I think if I read this book without any context or having never seen the show, I don't think that I would have really enjoyed this. So yeah, it was just like a lull, and it was overwritten, like really overwritten. Yeah, but in terms of the adaptation that was on Sundance, like it's very faithful to the books. Very faithful. Like very few things were left out of the adaptation, at least for book one. But it was overwritten. Like this, oh my God. Oh my God. I can't imagine if I read this at the time that I would have not DNF'd this book, because there were like maybe 2 or 3 like action points in the whole almost 800-page book, and they were resolved very quickly. It's really not super duper satisfying. Yeah, because of how nostalgic I am about it, and I did love the show, so I do enjoy the story. I'm gonna give it like I'm really like tempted to give this 4 stars, but in all actuality, maybe it's like a 3.75. Will I pick up the next book in the series? The answer is yes. Will I do that this month? I don't know. But since I have just under 5 hours left, I think that Raven Kennedy book, y'all, Played It Prisoner series, I am very tempted to just keep reading and pick up. I think the next book is Glint, and I think I'm about to pick that up. I already downloaded it on Kindle. So, y'all, I think I'm I think I'm just gonna go ahead and let that download, let that cook, and yeah, I'm gonna read that. Sorry I didn't check in for A Discovery of Witches. Like, I was really just trying to make it through that. Like, I was really fighting for my life. Okay, so Glint is under 500 pages, and I think I can finish this before the 24 hours is officially up. So I'm going to hop into that and get to reading. Okay. So I'll check in maybe at 20% or like 50% and see if I like this, because remember, I did DNF that first book a year ago. So anyway, yeah, ciao for now. I'm about 70% of the way through with Glint, and I'm super duper enjoying it. What can I say? This is so much better than Gold or Guild. The first book, like that first book, trash. Like before the 50% mark, like you can really throw it away. But after that, it's really good. Glint is really good. And I think this is like gonna be my next like series obsession, because I've been looking for like a romantasy series obsession. Like I have my one. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited to be done with this challenge. I think I'm gonna end up rating this 4.75. Like I'm really enjoying it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. If you did, don't forget to comment and subscribe. And I will see you next time without my bonnet on. Bye.